Y'all gotta pivot, you should do stand up. Y'all would kill it, you could really use a new beginning. Buy the ticket, but you never win it.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Awkward Situations, the series where I read and react to your comments about awkward situations that are happening or that have happened in your lives previously, embarrassing stories, or anything else you want to share with me. I'm sorry I have not uploaded this series in 2 months. It's a series that was made in and for 2012, and I just, in general, don't like uploading it to my channel. In 2018, it started to get less and less views up until the last episode, which got substantially less views than I normally get on the series, which really frustrated me. Also, there was an issue when I uploaded to YouTube that caused the gameplay to be really glitchy, which was partially my fault, partially YouTube's fault, which frustrated me, so I just said fuck the series, and I didn't upload it for almost 2 months now. The reasons I still upload it are I like it, and to be honest with you, it makes more money than anything else I upload on my channel for the amount of views it gets, because watch time heavily factors into the YouTube algorithm. So if you watch one of my videos for a longer amount of time than you would any other video, then I make more money on the video. So just to be 100% honest with you guys, I probably wouldn't upload this series to my channel if it wasn't at least a profitable thing to upload for the amount of time that I put into it. The views are lower, and I feel it hurts my channel when I upload it because, like I said, it's a video that was made in and for 2012 YouTube, not something that you would see on a growing YouTube channel in 2018, in my opinion. Of course, this is all my opinion. It's my YouTube channel. So I apologize for those of you who like the series and those of you who are frustrated that I haven't uploaded it in 2 months. I'm uploading it now. I don't really have anything else to upload today, and I kind of don't know what I'm doing in general on YouTube. I mean, I've never known, but I'm in one of those, it's a kind of a weird rut, because there's ruts I have where I don't have any YouTube ideas, and I have ideas right now. I just don't feel I have ideas that get a lot of views, which is kind of different. I have skit ideas and things I've uploaded to my channel and things I am in the process of filming, and I don't feel I'm good enough at Fortnite to make a video that's 10 minutes long, or my friends and I are good enough at Fortnite, and we don't make our clips funny enough. Maybe I need to put more energy into our recording sessions to make enough clips for a 10-minute video. I mean, that's just such... This is turning into a big complaining session, so I apologize for that, but I'm just kind of letting all of my thoughts out into the open air about what's going on my YouTube channel and my frustration with where I'm at. It's a temporary frustration, though. YouTube is literally a roller coaster. It's up and down. Sometimes it's down for long periods. Sometimes it's up for long periods. So this is something I've lived with and experienced for the past 5, 6, 7 years of my life now. When I started in 2011, started full-time in 2013. So 5 years of my life. And it's a natural cycle at this point. It's not something I'm going to be permanently down about. I'll probably feel better by next week. I'm just in this spot right now, and I appreciate your patience as always, especially those of you who have been here for a really long time. And those of you who are new, also appreciate you being with me. Let's get into some updates from previous Awkward Situations episodes right now. My first update is about a situation that was from later last year. I'm guessing late summer last year. I'll try to find the episode and timestamp it in the description if you want to watch it again. It was a guy who was going into his senior year in high school, and he couldn't decide if he wanted to play football. He was good at it, but he just didn't have the passion for it anymore. I can't remember what I said, but here's his update. Hey, Joel, I was the football situation kid, so basically I decided that I'm going to play football. My friend was diagnosed with DIPG 2 years ago, which is basically an inoperable brain tumor. Has recently passed away. You may have heard of him since we live in Michigan. His name was, and I'm going to blank out his name just for anonymity. Anyway, before he was diagnosed, I convinced him to play football, and he was starting to go to the summer workouts and everything until he was diagnosed. With that being said, I'm going to play for him. My parents apologized for the way they acted and realized that they were being selfish, and were very happy to hear that I'm going to play. Thank you, Joel, and everybody else who helped. Yeah, so I forgot to mention that before I read the update. His parents were pressuring him to play after he told them that he did not have the passion to play. So that was a whole part of the situation, the friend part of the situation that wasn't mentioned. It seems like it happened after you wrote the comment, and I apologize for the loss of your friend. It's a silver lining to a bad situation that you found a reason to have a passion for something that you can't do post-high school. It's hard to relive those younger days, and I believe there's a comment in this set of awkward situations, as there always is, where we talk about things in high school that you can't do post-high school, that you should just give a shot, because I mean, you're not going to get a chance to when you're 28 or whatever, like I am, or going to be 28 this year. So I appreciate the update. Again, sorry about your friend. I hope you had a great football season. Final update today is about a situation in which a guy was trying to decide if he wanted to leave school to go into the real estate business. I believe he was in college and he has a passion for real estate. He felt he could be really good at real estate, but to leave college is a very difficult decision because you're going there to get a job in the future with your degree and you put money into it, so you're taking a loss on that money that you put into it. A lot of things go into that decision. I'll try to find the episode once again and put it in the description if you want to watch the original situation. But the update says, "Hi Joel, update from a situation you answered around the end of summer about me going into real estate or stay in school and what my parents wanted me to do. I decided to leave school and start my career in real estate, and my parents at first were wary but soon became supportive. I worked hard and ended up becoming my company's top rookie for 2017. I want to thank you for your advice. You have been such a positive impact for thousands of people." And an addendum to the comment, also, if you need help in real estate, I can give you some things to look out for in homes. Well, I appreciate that. I might have to hit you up about that because my wife and I are still on a housing search, one of those big adult things that is currently kind of stressing me out a little bit. But I'm glad you were able to make a choice and you were able to follow through with your choice. A lot of times in life, there's no right or wrong choice. It's just you have to make a choice and go into it 100%. In my own life, I have made a very difficult choice recently, and I knew whatever I chose, I was not going to be 100% happy with it. I just had to make the decision, get it off my chest, and leave it behind. Like, go 100% into the choice I made and forget about the choice because the choice has already been made. And you just have to go 100% into it. I appreciate the update, and I hope everything continues to go well for you. I might need your help with this home thing. It's a little bit complicated. With that said, let's get into today's awkward situations right now. Hey Joel, how's it going? Not really an awkward situation, but I don't really know what to do. So being a junior in high school, prom is coming up. At first, I didn't really want to go. I kind of just wanted to stay home and chill out. Soon to realize that I have a ton of friends that are seniors, and it could be sort of a last moment. The main problem is that I don't really want to ask anyone, even though that's kind of strange. If I were to ask someone, she has a boyfriend, but I mean, shoot your shot. So anyway, I just don't really know what to do and kind of want to see what someone else would do. Advice or comments from everyone would be appreciative. Thanks, Dad. So I'm not sure what your school's rules about prom are, which change my advice a bit, or I guess makes it difficult for me to give advice. I'm pretty sure Megan's school had a rule that you could go to prom with your friends, but my school had a rule that you could only go with another person that you asked, and they probably had to be of the opposite gender. I'm not sure if my school was super progressive back in 2009. It's not like I went to a private school either. We both went to public schools in the same area. So it all just depends on what your school's rules are. If you could just go with your friends and you don't feel like asking anyone, there's no one you could think to ask, I would advise to do that. But the way you frame the question, it makes it seem like you can't do that. So I would say that if you feel like it's too much pressure and you don't want to go to prom, you don't have to go to prom, although I would advise it simply because it's one of those many high school experiences that you won't get to experience again when you're older. There's some things I didn't do when I was younger that I don't regret very much. A lot of my friends in high school went out drinking a lot, went out partying a lot, and in early college. And I never did that because it just wasn't my personality. My friends were still my friends, and I don't think they looked down upon me for not partying with them a lot. They're still my friends to this day, so I guess that would be the evidence of that. But I just never did that, and I don't regret it to this day because it didn't fit with my personality. It wouldn't have been something that I was interested in the moment, and it wasn't something that I missed when I was away from it. Prom and unique high school events are a little bit different to me because they can be fun. They're not those high pressure environments where people are trying to pressure you to drink or do drugs unless you go to a much crazier high school than I did. And it's a moment that when you think back on your time in high school, you're not going to remember a lot. You're only going to remember the highlights. You're not going to remember a Tuesday in March when you were in history class, unless you had a particularly good day in that history class for whatever reason. You had a substitute teacher that fell asleep at the desk, and there was this girl that you sat next to that you had a crush on that for some reason got extremely turned on, talking about the American Revolution, and you had a little under the desk action that was particularly awesome. That would be a great Tuesday in March history class. that you would remember. But normally you would only remember the big stuff. I remember my high school graduation. I remember the last day of high school. And I remember both proms I went to junior and senior year, and not a lot besides that. So when you look back, it's nice to have those key memories to hold on to and latch on to. And I went to high school in an era, talking some old Joel talk here, I went to high school in an era where not a lot of people had smartphones. I mean, the last generation, I would say, of high school where people didn't have smartphones and weren't on social media. I mean, we were all on Facebook. It was 2009 when I graduated, but a lot of people didn't have iPhones, and we took pictures with our phones, but I just feel like there would be a lot more memories stored in a actual location. You know, I could have recorded videos with my phone, or I would have shared it on Snapchat, shared it on Instagram, things that I could have to look at and say that was prom, you know. But I'm not really reminiscent, so maybe I wouldn't even want to look back at that stuff, and I don't think about high school too often. But when you guys write comments like this, it's nice to think about those times. So if you can find someone that is in your situation, a female or male, whatever you want to do. I mean, I can't even tell from your picture and your name if you're a female or male. I just know that there is someone of whatever gender you prefer that is in a similar situation as you. Word gets around school. Maybe you know some people that haven't been asked yet. And even if they say no, they would appreciate being asked. My senior year, I had a girlfriend, so I just asked my girlfriend, obviously. But my junior year, I had many friends who were girls. I still have many friends that are girls, like the ones that I'm closest to, because I'm a pretty effeminate male. But I asked one of my good friends who was a girl at prom, and I had a great experience. She was really happy to be asked because no one had asked her yet. And it was honestly the best possible experience I could have had. I had more fun my junior year with my friend than I did senior year with my girlfriend, who broke up with me shortly thereafter. And I just would highly recommend that. There has to be some girl who you could tolerate talking to, or some guy that you could tolerate talking to and hanging out with for a night, getting to know them better. Even if they say no, it's worth asking. I mean, people aren't going to remember that you got rejected to go to prom by some person, even 2 years from now, even 1 year from now, maybe, except for you, which I guess that doesn't matter unless it's really going to sting you and scar you for life, which if you're even thinking about it 3 years later, I can tell you you've had an amazing 3 years of life post-high school, because you're probably going to run into other issues and other things in your life you're going to worry about. But I would just try to find someone else in your similar situation and ask them if you can. If you can't go with your friends, I don't know what your school's rules are, but I would advise it. I know prom is next month for most people in high school right now, and I hope you guys all have a fun and safe time at prom. It's a really fun, memorable experience, in my opinion. Super, super awkward situation. I was in 8th grade, and I really wanted to play basketball for my school. I tried out and made the B team. A team is like the NBA, and the B team is like the minor leagues. During our first game, I didn't know the basket switch, and I got a rebound and ran to our hoop and made a basket. Everyone was yelling at me, which I didn't hear. I thought I was so cool making the basket that I did a little dance. Then my friend told me I scored in the wrong hoop. My parents were at the game as well. Anyone else gone through something this embarrassing before? As someone who played basketball for my entire life, I have done this twice. Luckily, I missed the shot both times. Once when I was really young, and once when I was in middle school. And I was close to the basketball times too. I was just lucky enough to put up a terrible shot each time, and it was a miss. And it wasn't even because I didn't know the basket switched. I knew the basket switched. I just got complacent. I forgot. You know, I was like, oh, I grabbed the ball. Let me put the rebound up. Hey, wait, I was just on defense. So I need to outlet, not, oh, wait, the ball's already in the hoop. Oh, I missed it. Thank God. So that was that type of situation. It was not the same outcome that you had, and I didn't celebrate after my basket, so I didn't get much of a crowd reaction other than he's an idiot for 0.5 seconds. I'm sure I wasn't really paying attention to the crowd. I just felt stupid for doing it both times, but it happens. I also tripped on stage at my graduation when I went to go get my diploma, but I think I played it off really well. They were reading the names so fast because I had a rather large class that we were all kind of hustling to go get our diplomas, and I kind of bent my knee with the trip, so it was kind of like I was just, you know, pelvis popping to the diploma, like, yeah, come here, diploma, let me get you, like kind of seducing it. I can't describe it very well, and I hope there's no video of it, but I think I played it off well. It just happens. You know, you have these embarrassing moments. I wish I had some other examples of times in a crowd when I did something that was embarrassing or uncomfortable, but those are the two that are coming to mind. It sounds like you played it off really well and you got a funny story to share. So you learned a lesson. Baskets switch sides after quarters or halves. I don't know what the rules were in your league, but I appreciate you sharing that awkward situation with us. Last awkward situation says really awkward situation. I started a new job a couple of months ago back in October, and there was this cute chick that I've hung out with from time to time since I started working there. She is friends with my friend's sister. So one day I get a message from my friend saying that this girl from work has a thing for me. So I'm like, cool, I'll try and see where it goes. A couple of weeks go by, and I'm starting to have a thing for this girl as well. So I decided to ask her out on a date. She said no. So I was like, oh, all right, kind of thinking she would say yes. So I told my friend the situation, and he told me that she said no because she found out I was a virgin. My friend told his sister, and she told the girl I work with, and that she didn't, quote, want to take that away from me. And I'm okay with that. It's just since she found out I'm a virgin, she has told like everyone that we work with. So now work is just this big awkward mess, and it's starting to get uncomfortable because that was my business, and now I feel like everyone is judging me. P.S. to clarify, I'm 20 years old and decided back in my early years of high school that I wanted to wait for someone, the right person. Now I'm starting to second guess myself since everyone around me at work is giving me these looks and are just straight up asking me why I'm still a virgin. So first of all, I'm glad you didn't end up going out with this girl because she seems to have kind of a fucked up worldview that going out with someone means you need to have sex with them. I don't know if going out on a date means she has to have sex with you. Like, oh, you bought me dinner, gotta fuck you now. It's common courtesy. Or if you're a boyfriend or a girlfriend, that means you have to have sex with your boyfriend or girlfriend, which is absolutely not true. I don't want to get political, but it reminds me of this 60 Minutes interview I watched a few weeks ago with Stormy Daniels, the woman who claims to have had an affair with our president, Donald Trump. She was describing the time that they had sex. She said that they were in his hotel room watching TV or something or talking about something, and then she went to the bathroom, and then she walked out of the bathroom, and our president had his legs spread open, and he was sitting on the bed in kind of a come hither motion, and she thought to herself, well, look what I've gotten myself into. I've got to have sex with him now. And then she proceeded to have sex with him. And I was just thinking when I heard that in the interview, like, but did you have to have sex with him because he was sitting a certain way? If so, all men would sit this way. You would just be at your local mall and walking by these benches, and people would be sitting with their legs jutted out. I don't know how he did it. I wish he would have described it in better detail so that men across the world who are trying to have sex with women could know how to sit, to invite women through means of sitting to have sex with you. There's a magical way to sit, to have sex with people. Actually, there isn't. That's just kind of a fucked up worldview she has, in my opinion, that she has to have sex with people. If they sit a certain way, she could have walked out the door to the hotel room, presumably, unless there was some type of large, heavy object in front of it that she couldn't make the door open because of, and that's an even bigger problem. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. That's a fucked up worldview she has, that going on a date with someone means you have to fuck them. You got me an espresso, let me suck your dick. That's interesting that she feels that way. And furthermore, I don't think it is a bad thing to be a virgin. I actually really like your worldview and prefer your worldview, especially considering what is going on in the news right now. There is a movement in our sexual culture to recognize how shitty it is, I guess. I don't feel like I would be the best person to describe it, but there's the Me Too movement going on. A lot of you know I live in mid-Michigan, Lansing, Michigan to be specific. And the worst sexual criminal in Michigan history, one of the worst sexual criminals in the history of the country, was recently in the news. Obviously, he was convicted, and it was a big thing, and a lot of people in my area were affected, and I'm still seeing the ripple effects. We're still seeing the ripple effects of this in our community, and it's really made me rethink sexual culture lately. And I'm now more than ever on the side of respecting your body and respecting the choices that other people make, whether they be guys or girls. I think we've gone a little too far, and I'm sure in culture there's a constant back and forth. Like sometimes you're too conservative and sometimes you're a little too liberal with these social issues, and especially in the community I live in and in the culture I live in, there is just such an emphasis on sexuality and being open and being, having like random casual sex with people. This is the Tinder generation. I'm sure I sound like a huge prude saying this. I'm not even really religious. I just don't like where things have gone in the culture, and it creates a lot of confusion for people, a lot of hurt feelings, and worse because of what I don't know. I don't even know where the ideas come from. I guess movies and television. It's music for sure. I think people should value it more, and I appreciate your worldview, especially in 2018. That would be the popular worldview to have in 1950, what you have right now. And I'm sure there were years prior where this worldview that we currently have was popular, to have more of like a free sex type of, I guess that was like the 60s. So it goes back and forth. I don't think it's always one way or the other. I think culturally things move in waves, and we're in this wave where I think it's a little more towards like the free sex generation. And I appreciate your worldview, and your worldview is closer to mine. It's not a bad thing to be a virgin. That's fucked up that she shared that with everyone. Really unprofessional. In terms of what I would do about it, I mean, I would own it if everyone already knows. Well, what kind of place do you work at? I mean, what do you like go in and you're like, hey, can you pick up my shift? And they're like, no, virgin, why don't you go fuck someone first? I mean, I don't know how this comes up in conversation. I've had friends that have had that label put on them. Some of you may know them, and they just own it, and it's fine. No one genuinely cares. And if people make fun of them for it, then we're like, fuck you, that's our friend. You know, that's our thing to joke about. My friends and I joke about things about each other all the time. And I hope they are not doing it with malice intended. If they are, I mean, you might be considering new employment options if it's that terrible. But otherwise, just kind of brush it off if you can. Just joke about it. If you're able to laugh at your own shortcomings, which this isn't a shortcoming at all, but you just clearly work with a bunch of wood-eating morons. I've never heard that phrase, Joel. Who eats wood? Morons do. They go in the forest and they pick up sticks and say, this looks delicious, and they eat it. That's who he works with, all right? Just a bunch of morons. I would love to hear an update from you. This was posted a while ago, since I haven't made an Awkward Situations episode in a while, but this one kind of frustrated me, and I just wanted to rant a little bit here at the end. I'm sorry if I came off as preachy to you guys, but I appreciate you sticking with me for this entire episode if you're still here. And if you want to see more Awkward Situations episodes, let me know in the comment section below. And obviously leave comments, because they require comments to happen. And I don't know if I'll post another one next week, another one a few weeks from now, but I don't know. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.
Brick by brick, let it stack. Ain't no flash in the pan, ain't no temporary shit. Nothing happened overnight. Built it brick by brick. My fans really fuck with